Open your eyes.
Hey, so I haven't seen this film. This is kind of more of a review of the reviews. I've seen several at this point. I've also kind of been reading the chatter on Facebook, on YouTube, and these are some of my thoughts. So this movie is getting a lot of hate from certain parts of the Catholic audience. I watched part of Tim Gordon's review. He admittedly only had watched a small part of the movie, and I believe the other gentleman that he was doing the review with only watched the trailer. So there's that. He came out swinging against this movie, calling it feminist, in all caps. As proof of this, he says that the director himself calls it a feminist movie. Okay, so my question would be then, what does the director mean by feminist? Does he simply mean a depiction of the feminine? I would also suggest that by calling it a feminist movie, he's trying to appeal to a certain audience. I mean, they released the movie on International Women's Day and played a Shania Twain song for one of the trailers. I think it's obvious that they are trying to lure in the kind of people who think that women like Margaret Sanger, for instance, is just the best. Christine Niles also seems to agree with this viewpoint. She called it a ruse on the part of the filmmakers to release this on Women's Day to try to make it appealing to that type of audience. Niles herself stated that the film, quote, promotes authentic femininity. It would appear to me that this isn't just a movie for ourselves, for the Christian Catholic audience. I mean, I think that's why they titled the movie simply Cabrini instead of St. Francis Cabrini. No one who is, shall we say, of the world is going to see a movie called St. Francis Cabrini. I read a lot of complaints from ordinary Catholics that this movie doesn't mention God enough. Again, I think this movie is geared as a tool for evangelization. No one other than a Christian will go see a movie to be overtly preached at. That just isn't realistic. Again, I haven't seen the movie, but to reviewers such as Heather, for instance, over at A Catholic Mom's Life, and to Christine Niles, God's grace and love were unmistakably recognizable in Mother Cabrini's story as told through this film. The movie seems to have elected to preach through actions and storytelling rather than a traditional pulpit-style sermon. One commentator was so upset by this, I think this was a comment on Facebook, that they were telling people that they would be deceived if they went to see this movie, that it was a sort of betrayal. It really seems to me at this point that we are letting our idea of the perfect be the enemy of the good here. Another criticism of the film is that it is feminist because, as Tim Gordon said, it portrays white males as obstacles to overcome. I don't know, Mother Cabrini had obstacles to overcome, and some of them happen to be white men. That's just a fact. Should we change the historical reality to suit our sensibilities? I would say no. Someone also said that the movie advocates for open borders. My question would be, what about telling the story about the plight of Italian immigrants around the turn of the century? What about that tells us that in 2024 we should have wide open borders and accept just whomever walks across it? I don't know. Again, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the film, but I think we might be getting a little silly here. I don't know. I am planning on seeing this film. Maybe I won't like it. I don't know. I encourage you also to see the movie with an open mind and to decide for yourself. Ciao.
We are survivors. Are we not? We are.
Quanto rumore fa una donna da sola?